And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed on to our spotlight session, which will be on breaking stereotypes. Our spotlight speaker for this session is Tabu, an Indian film actor, in conversation with Kamal Mukherjee, filmmaker, author, producer, and biographer. I would love to take this opportunity to introduce Tabu to all of you over here before I call her on the dais. Tabu, as we lovingly know her and call her, her name is Tabassum Fatima Hashmi, known to all of us as Tabu, and is regarded as one of the most talented Indian actors of her generation. She has primarily acted in Hindi films, but she is passionate about cinema and has also worked in multi-language films like English, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Marathi, and Bengali. Her leading role in Meera Nair's cinema, The Namesake, and her supporting role in Ang Lee's highly successful adventure movie, The Life of Pi, was appreciated all over the world. Her most critically acclaimed performances were in films like Machis, Kala Pani, Virasat, Hututu, Astitva, Chandni Bar, Maqbool, Chini Kam, Haider, Drishyam, and Fitur. She has won the National Film Award for Best Actress twice and has received 6 Filmfare Awards, including a record 4 Critics Award for Best Actress. She was awarded the Padma Shri by the Government of India in 2011. She will be next seen in Meera Nair's directorial 6-part drama, A Suitable Boy, on BBC One. She is also playing an interesting cameo in Jawani Janeman, starring Saif Ali Khan. The host for this session is Mr. Kamal Mukherjee, filmmaker, author, producer, and biographer. And let me take this opportunity to introduce him to all of you. Mr. Kamal Mukherjee is India's first power brand film journalist with a repertoire of 2 decades of experience in journalism with publications like The Asian Age and Times of India. He is the former editor-in-chief of India's leading film magazine, Stardust. He is an authorized biographer of Hema Malini's Beyond the Dream Girl. He has been honored as India's youngest biographer. Mr. Kamal Mukherjee has been a guest columnist with ABP Group's leading daily Anand Bazar, Patrika, and Anandolok. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, please help me welcome on the dais for the spotlight session, Tabu and Kamal Mukherjee.
And thank you for being here.
Good evening, Calcutta. Good evening. It is always a pleasure to be here at ABP Infocom. This is a privilege to share stage with somebody who is so heavyweight. And when I'm saying heavyweight is obviously, I mean your body of work and not just the other way around.
I started to check.
So, she doesn't need any introduction, so we go straight into an informal conversation. Tabu, would you like to do a very formal conversation, or we just kind of have a regular chat so that everybody enjoys out here?
What would you prefer, formal?
And what is the language, mode of language you would prefer, Hindi or English? English? Okay. And would you like to have a very serious conversation, or would you like to kind of really know who Tabu is?
One gentleman said yes to a serious conversation. Oh no, acha. Okay. I got scared.
So basically breaking the stereotype, and that itself says that it's almost like a synonym to you, breaking the stereotype, because I remember it is quite a coincidence that you and me met for the first time, I being a rookie journalist and you being the leading lady of Meenakshi for Mr. M.F. Hussein's film in 2003, I guess. Same hotel and same city. From there on, I think it's been a long journey for you, Tabu, and you have been through your ups and downs, if I may say. And but people only see the glorious side. People only see the victory that you have achieved. People only see what you have achieved. They don't see the path that you had to go through to achieve what you have achieved today. So to begin with, if I ask that as an actor, how do you see yourself when I say that Tabu is somebody who had pioneered in breaking the stereotype? So how do you look back into it now?
That's a huge compliment, and that's a huge, compliment, achievement, accomplishment that you are saying it. I don't know what I feel when I look back, or I don't know what to make of my journey. I don't know if I set out to do this, or I don't know if I ever set out to make these choices or achieve what I have achieved. I know for a fact that nothing of it was planned, and nothing of it came from a place of wanting to carve this place for myself. The place that I have made, or the place that is mine, I mean, nothing is yours, everything is everybody's, but the space that I have has been made by just doing what I thought was right to do, and not because I wanted this, you know. And I think that's why I am able to enjoy it more, because I did not manufacture it. And it just came as a result of picking up films and characters that instinctively drew me to them.
True, Tabu, but at the same time, I don't know whether you agree or disagree, the choice is yours, that when people say that you're breaking stereotype, you're doing different stuff, it is not easy for an actor to really tread into the untrodden path. Because nobody has done that, nobody has played that kind of a character, nobody has, people have fear in the kind of characters that you have chosen of late. So when you are trying, it's not a tried and tested path that you're going through. So every film you are taking a risk at the cost of not knowing that where would it take you as an actor in a career graph wise. So how do you assess that?
So, and I don't think I ever looked at any film or character as risky, or के अरे इसका क्या असर होगा मेरे career पे, या where is going to take me, because really my motive and my intention was never in the result. I was never working towards that. For me, I had to like what I'm doing. It was very important for me, and as long as I was really liking what I was doing, and I was liking the fact that, you know, there's this character, there's this film, and there are these people, and I'm part of it, and I'm getting to do this, that was really that enough for me. And I never lived in the result, and it was not important for me कि इससे क्या होगा, या कभी मुझे डर नहीं लगा कि अरे मैं कुछ बहुत अलग कर रही हूँ. For me it came very naturally. Looking back and trying to explain these choices, now you can call it path breaking or breaking the stereotype, but really they were not meant as that. The intention was not that. The fact that they broke the stereotype really came as a result of, you know, sincerely being that character. And I think more than anything, being open to anything and everything was my thing. Open to everything, anything was my thing. So that's what I followed, and I never felt that, I never looked at these roles as risks, really.
That's really great to know that you never thought that they were the risky ones, but they were, because when you
Yeah.
actually look back, then you realize that, that was a tough one. So just to continue to where you ended is, when you did Chandni Bar, a director, Madhur Bhandarkar, comes to you and narrates Chandni Bar, who just delivered a fresh flop. And he was kind of written off by the critics. So I would come on to the second half of the question after you answer this question to me, is when somebody is written off in black and white, and then a director comes to you, offers you a script. Now as an actor, you have probably a good script in hand, but you have seen his you have seen his first work, which is not appreciated, which didn't work at the box office. So now, as an actor in your mind, what are the things that plays to say yes or no to the script, A, and would you like to give a second chance to the director again to prove his mettle that no, चलो उसने उसमें तो शायद नहीं कर पाया, लेकिन ये कहानी अच्छी है, ये शायद इसमें अच्छा कर लेगा. So how does it work as an actor?
So I had no idea that Madhur had made a film before Chandni Bar, and it wouldn't matter to me even if I would know, because I was assessing and judging Chandni Bar by the merit of what that script was. And I don't think Chandni Bar had anything to do with any other film that he had made. And I mean, I really don't judge people by their success or their failures. I really don't.
I have a chance. I have a chance.
Everybody has a chance. And I'm not anybody to, give anybody a second chance. I'm giving myself a chance also through the film that I'm doing. I loved Chandni Bar. I loved the subject. I loved the fact that I would be playing this character. I had no idea about Mumbai's underbelly or the beer bar culture because we were not from Mumbai, we were from Hyderabad. And this whole beer bar culture was very new to me. In fact, Madhur was the person who literally introduced me to it. And it was very compelling, Mumtaz's story, and I really was excited to do it. And I was really happy that there was a film that had a beer bar dancer as a protagonist, not just, as a villain's mall. So yeah, it was important. It was a very important film for me. I think it will always be a very important film in cinema. And yeah, I believed in it, and I believed in Madhur, and that's all that mattered to me, really.
Continuation of what you are saying is that you believe in a script, you believe in a director, and probably, I guess, more than that, you believe in instinct, and you do a film. If you're married, yeah. So in that, I guess you are one of the very few actors who have actually balanced out a proper box office ratio and a critical acclaim. Like, एक साल में Editor's Choice Award goes to Tabu, and the next year Best Actress goes to Tabu. So it's a balanced act that you have been playing since these many years. How have you been able to balance out the hardcore box office people and the hardcore critics in general?
I think I've been hugely fortunate. That's a part of it. Also, I think somewhere people have a memory. My beginnings have been in hardcore commercial cinema. So I think my familiarity is, matlab, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
And also I've always been open to doing every genre of cinema, because I always wanted to explore and discover and enjoy and experience every kind of film, every kind of filmmaker, because that's what I thrive on,
Do you think
and luckily I have got acceptance and success in both worlds. So I think that's my greatest strength, and I think that's one of my greatest achievements. Yeah.
True. I was recently talking to one of my director friend, and she mentioned a very important aspect. I'm not taking any name of other actors on this stage, but that person is also commercially very successful. The director said that when you take a commercially successful face like you, in a film like Namesake or Abar Aronno, or the experimental cinema or realistic cinema, however way would you say, so it always helps in getting the audience to the theater because you have a commercial value to your face or existence. So you agree, or it is now that you have done so many films, so people know that no, she's a powerful actress. So even if I do a commercial Golmaal and at the same time I'm doing an Andhadhun, people will come and enjoy my performance. So how does it work for you as an actor now?
I don't know, I can't look at myself from the outside and look at my positioning or the label that I carry, because I think with every film, every actor appears differently to people, and though they might have a sense of what to expect, they will still not get the same experience that they got in the previous film.
Correct.
And people know that every film is going to be different from the other. Coming to that point about commercial, if you are a commercially accepted actor, I think your films have easier or wider reach, and I don't think there's any denying that. Having said that, there have also been films that have had absolutely new faces, have also done commercially very well, and having commercially successful actors, the smaller films have gotten the support. So there's every kind and every formula really, and there's so many factors, but yes, after a point, I think an actor becomes synonymous with a certain amount of draw from the audience.
So it is a responsibility in the hindsight somewhere.
If you look at it as a responsibility, but I think the producer and the filmmakers would think about it more than the actor would. I think, at least for me, I'm looking at what I'm doing in the film rather than, oh my God, am I responsible for bringing this kind of audience? Because that's not really why I'm doing the film. Yeah. I'm doing the film because I want to do the film. You want to take me for what reason? You be clear about your reason.
Correct, correct. To totally understand. Coming on to the other part of this conversation is breaking the stereotype is definitely something which you have proven, and there is no doubt about it. But every actor is born with insecurities in life. Now, if I see your filmography, it is very interesting, at the same time extremely risky, because you are playing Bhabhi to a mainstream actor, whereas you are playing a sister to a mainstream actor, and then you are playing a female lead in a film with Amitabh Bachchan at the same time in Chini Kam, and you are doing international projects like Life of Pi and Namesake. So these are different industries, of course South, different industries working with different set of audience, targeting different mindset. At the same time, you are all over. Like mostly if you see actors, they are very specific that no, even if I'm doing a regional film, I'll do lead. Even if I'm doing a commercial film, I'll only play a lead. Even if I'm doing an art cinema, I'll do only lead. That has never been your way of understanding cinema, which I would again say a brilliant thing to do. But it is a kind of, like most actors are insecure. So how do you address that? Like I'm sure it must have come to your mind, or it didn't, like.
So first of all, I must say that it's an observation that I have made through your question. I never thought, really now that you are saying it, that every film that an actor does, or I have done so many different kinds of cinema, are really industries in their own.
Correct.
I never ever looked at like that, and it's actually probably true, but I have never gone outside of my job in the film and seen it as that. Maybe I was never aware of that. Thankfully, maybe I was not. I did not know how, I still don't know a large part of how the business works or how the industry is divided or similar. I think if I would have gotten involved or started thinking about that or looking at myself from the outside, from the business point of view, I don't know what decisions I would have made, but I was never that person. For me, acting in cinema and playing characters has been the same process in every film. So I think my intention and my journey to play a character is going to be the same whether I do a Telugu film or whether I do an Andhadhun or whether I do a Sajan Chale Sasural or a BV number 1 or a Namesake, because I am the same person.
Yeah.
But you're right that I have sort of been able to now, having heard your question, inhabit so many different worlds. But of course, those worlds are again created by the filmmakers who are making those films. And every filmmaker has their own way of telling a story. Every producer has their own way of making a film and their whole intention of making a film, which is really not my space or world. For me, it's been, this is the character, these are the actors in the film, this is what my character is doing. Do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? Do I want to work with this director or don't I want to work with this director? And that's about it. I think that's from where I have operated. And luckily, I have had every genre of films, cinema come to me with amazing characters, with interesting characters, and more importantly, important characters. Characters that have been important to the story.
Correct.
And importantly also a whole world of people and characters that are real, more real than what we were used to seeing, especially female actors as. And that was always my struggle, and that was always the voice that wanted to come out of me. That it was quite uninspiring sometimes to play characters in a particular way just because they have been played in a particular way for the past 30, 40, 50 years, for as long as the industry existed.
Correct.
And I did not see any logical reason why they have to be played in the same way. Why we have to follow formula even when we are expressing ourselves. There cannot be a formula to expressing oneself.
Correct.
There can be a formula, okay, there can be a formula to script writing. More or less, because you have to follow but I never understood why all actors have to do the same thing and do it the way that it's been done. And that's what I did not want to, rally around. And I got to do things my way. And I think that was my greatest takeaway, that I could do things my way and still make a success out of it.
That is amazing, but and that's truly amazing. But I would also like to ask you this question, because we're talking about characters, we're talking about breaking the stereotypes. So when you take on a project, so for example, a role that most actors would dread is Andhadhun's character, because she's scheming, she's heartless, she's brave, she's villain, she's dark, she's grey, she's everything. So when you have that many, okay, for an actor it's definitely a big challenge, but a lot of actors also, while they read scripts, they have this inhibition that no, too dark. I'd like to play a grey character. No, but it's एकदम ही काला है. मतलब कुछ भी नहीं है इसमें अच्छा है. एक redemption दे दो, इसका एक justification दे दो, इसका कुछ अच्छा कर दो. So I have, now I'm the other side of the fence. So I do meet in a lot of actors who have these, like they want to do experimental role, but at the end, please justify why the character is like this. So I said that then what is it?
She has a dark past.
मतलब दुखियारी कुछ थी, कुछ
She has a
psycho.
dying mother.
So ये क्यों है हमारी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में कि एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे द विलन, justify the villain as Ram and justify the antagonist as Sita and just make them look white. Just convert them to white and not even grey. So do that thing also come into your mind earlier now, or have you rejected any script which you felt that it was very challenging, but no, it's not my space?
I'm sure I have rejected many characters and scripts, but I'm for different reasons. Not because I wanted my character in a certain way.
To be holier than thou.
Only if they were not interesting enough. If they had no fun in them, or if they had no juice in them. Otherwise, I'm the last person or actor who has ever thought of roles as dark or, because characters are characters, and you do a character if you really want to play that character, and not because you want to be portrayed in a certain way. I could have my conflicts and my way of understanding the character, but that has nothing to do with appearing in a certain way. I don't believe in that at all. And like especially with Andhadhun, I mean, there was nothing that was predictable about this character.
Correct.
And there was nothing predictable about Sriram's storytelling. And I feel in Andhadhun there are so many things that link the whole film together, that even if you try and take one factor out of Andhadhun, you don't know if it will be the same film.
Correct.
So, and really Andhadhun is about these people in these circumstances. Now they are good also, they are bad also, they are pathetic also, they are completely, like deplorable also, and all of that, but they are real people. And I think that's the beauty about Andhadhun, that that's why I think people could relate to it, connect to it, and still be scared, because these are people that you could find in the apartment next door to you.
These are people around you.
Yeah, around you. And they're really not some larger than life film heroes and film villains or vamps.
Correct.
And I don't think we ever intended to take them that way. Yeah.
And absolutely, I totally agree with what you're saying, Tabu. But when it comes to regional cinema, because we are in Kolkata and you've been very fond of the city, so how can I not ask about Gautam Ghosh and Abar Arone and the experience that you had? And I guess a lot of Bollywood actors have worked in Bengali films. And I guess you are the only actor, if I'm not mistaken, pardon me for my ignorance if I'm making a mistake, but I think you're the only actress who dubbed in Bengali.
Am I?
Yeah, I mean, you're the only actress, non-Bengali actress who actually dubbed her voice for Abar Arone Gautam Ghosh's Bangla film. And that Gautam da even told me that, how hell-bent were you that আওয়াজটা আমারই হবে, অন্য কাউকে দিয়ে ডাব করিও না.
I had a condition with Gautam da. I'll do the film Gautam da, but you have to allow me to do my own dubbing. I cannot, because I was doing Abar Arane for the love of the language. And there was no way. Otherwise it would be an exercise in futility if I act in a Bangla film and not speak in Bangla, or not hear myself speaking in Bangla. But I practiced a lot, and I took 2 or 3 days for dubbing. And really thanks to Gautam that he had the patience and he agreed to allow me to dub. I think I consider that as a biggest milestone of my career, because I'm a non-Bangla speaking person. I mean, I'm not a Bangla speaking person, but I could still achieve to do my own dubbing in a Bangla film. For me, it means a lot.
So that is also kind of breaking stereotype. Like in every step, like whatever you have done, you have given your 100% to it. Like you could have easily, asked a professional dubbing artist to dub it because it's a different language for you. So when you take up a project as an actor, it shows that you give your 100% to it. Now when the film is out and you have given your 100% and people somehow have not liked the film, how does it feel as an actor who has put in that heart and soul in any project? In all shiddat and mushakkat and everything in place, how does it feel as an actor that don't tell me that I don't review my films. That's untrue. All actors do that. So do you review your film and do you really analyze that why audience didn't actually like this film? You don't do that?
I don't, because however hard I try, I would never be able to understand why they did not like it. Or I would never be able to understand really why they liked it. Oh. I mean, yeah, why they liked it, if it's a generally good film and they've enjoyed it, you can understand. But yeah, not liking, I would never be able to understand. I mean, of course, it's very disappointing when an audience does not take to your film. And of course, they have complete right to do that. It feels like, अरे यार मैंने दुनिया को ये चीज़ दी, and they did not like it. Because of course you're hugely invested in any project.
Yeah, you're emotionally also involved in films.
So because it's your experience, it's your personal experience. So it's part of you, and it's an experience that you've shared with a bunch of people. And actually at the time of release, and like 15 days before the release, and once the film is released, that's the most, it's that transition that every actor is making, and every director also who's invested in the film, that you realize that you're just not in control.
Correct.
That's it. It's out of you. It's out of your system. It's out of your system when you finish shooting and dubbing. But when it's really out there in the world, it feels like, I'm sure parents get that feeling when they send their children out into the world. Ab ye duniya ka ho gaya. Now I have no control over it,
True that.
Children still come back to you when they're in trouble. Film will never come back to you after it's not done well, So yeah, you're not in control anymore. It's in the hands of the audience, and it belongs to the audience now,
True. Coming to a very cliche question, but since we are here, and I'm sure people will want to hear this, and they would probably think that why didn't I ask this question, because you expect certain cliche things to happen on stage. When we see a set of actors, be it Mr. Bachchan or Rishi Kapoor or any of the senior actors, they get enough meaty roles to play on screen, like male-dominated characters. We don't get to see women after a certain age getting that kind of a role, which also mounts to commercial success. There have been exceptions with you, with Vidya Balan and a few other actors recently, Shri Devi ji. There have been exception, but that's like not even a ratio. If you get to see the whole scenario of the film production that happens over the year, to compared to films that we produce in I would say Indian cinema, let's not just say Bollywood, Indian cinema, that ratio is still not even, rather far from even. So what is that is not still working? Because people are saying that content is working. Yeah, we are willing to watch a women-centric film. Like Taapsee and Bhumi did this very interesting character, Sand Ki Aankh, which got critically acclaimed. So it is happening, but it is not regular to what we see in West. We do see a Meryl Streep every year walking away with the Best Actress award in some award or the other. But we don't get to see that kind of stuff happening in Bollywood or in Indian cinema per se. So what's your analysis
I
on
think
that?
we've come a long way in that also. There is no denying that. See, this question is really, really, it's a very, the answers are very wide, and the assessments and analysis which we are really have no understanding about. There is really no set formula कि ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है और ऐसे क्यों नहीं होता है,
क्यों नहीं हो सकता है?
क्यों नहीं हो सकता है, क्या हो रहा है, because really it's a whole big world and it's a business ultimately. Okay, also and that's I think the driving force for most of the films.
Correct.
Everybody wants to make money, nobody wants to lose money. I also feel it is murgi pehle aayi ya anda, you know. Filmmakers will say, audience will say that हमको ऐसी फिल्म नहीं देखनी है, तो filmmakers will say कि audience को ऐसी फिल्म नहीं देखनी है इसलिए हम नहीं बना रहे, you know. XYZ ऐसी फिल्म का इतना ही बिजनेस होता है, तो हमको ऐसे. So now who do you hold responsible? The audience or the filmmakers? You know. So if I feel if the producers do not see a certain amount of profit in a certain kind of film, whether it's a woman-centric film, male-centric film, A, B, C kind of film, if they're not going to see returns, it will be more difficult for them to attempt that. Okay, and to see the returns, it's if the audience is not coming in, that's why the returns are not coming.
Correct.
So then, so we don't know really.
But
because
when you
I
have
feel
a
film business will always depend on what the popular demand is. You know.
True, but when you have, I would say, Andhadhun, you are the hero. So if Andhadhun is there, Astitwa is there, Chandni Bar is there. I mean, it happened then. Then series of films that Kangana did and Vidya Balan did, and Sri Devi Ji's comeback was a huge hit, English to English. So when people are giving business, still it is not picking up. My question is that when Amitabh Bachchan or a Rishi Kapoor gives a hit as a male lead, you have 4, 5, 6, 10 movies of that kind immediately being signed and released, and media go really hoo-ha. But from one dirty picture to English to English to a kahani, I mean the gap is like enormous. Like every time heroines, I mean all credit goes to you, your predecessors, your contemporaries. Whenever you have taken the film on your shoulders, you guys, you have delivered. You have not failed. So then why it is being judged that nahi fir bhi risk hai? That is where I feel that, you know, that really is beyond my understanding.
Maybe really producers see it as a risky proposition.
Still.
Maybe there is still a lack of confidence, but again, I don't know who has to make that change. If we, you know, keep having, how many can I do also? How many can any female actor or any actor do? And having said that, it's not that के male actor की भी एक hit हो जाती है तो वो 10,000 फिल्में करता है.
जी.
You know, so I think going by the numbers and going by the amount of films in which, and see, for me, I'm nobody to judge and I have no understanding of this, like I said. For me, it has always been important ke how interesting is the woman's character in the film. Whether it's a woman-centric film, whether she's carrying it on the shoulders, I don't care about that. Even when it comes to my films, I never thought, oh, I'm the hero of this film, so I'm doing it. Ke mujhe, you know, I want to become the protagonist. I want to be this actress who carries films on her shoulders. I had no intention like that. I was just interested in doing interesting characters. I feel, what are you giving the woman to do in a film? Whether you make her the hero, whether you make her a, you know, a daredevil fighting cop, or whether she's some, you know, Nimeen Makbul who's so wrong and everything and all that. how interesting are the parts for women. I'm more interested in that and not in the business. You know, female centric kam hai ya zyada hai. What I am getting should be interesting. What women are getting should be interesting. And I think that's the most kya bolte hai, satisfying thing or the most encouraging thing that you see in cinema now, that the characters that are written for women are not so one-dimensional and boring anymore. You know, and like I said, that was my problem in the beginning, that the characters that were given to most females were really one-dimensional. They were lacking of personality. You know, but you don't see that anymore. You see women having personalities, having issues, having layers, you know, having their own dark sides, grey sides. So we are seeing all that. And I think that for me is far more important than women-centric फिल्में ज़्यादा बन रही हैं या business कर रही हैं या नहीं कर रही हैं. You know, I think the voice, what a woman is representing the film is more important to me. What kind of voice she has. You know, is she a real character? Is she interesting? Does it resonate with anybody in the audience? You know, can you feel for her? I think that's more important for me.
Another question I always wanted to ask you, Tabu, is that I don't know whether it actually works like that or not, but it's just an inquisitiveness in me that is putting forward this question to you is, when an actor works in different language cinema, different industries, and then they eventually work in a Bollywood cinema, which is, you know, which is as good as Hollywood cinema in today's time. So do you bring in the regional aspect, what you learn as a craft, as an actor, to your Hindi cinema also? Because we see Hindi cinema in a particular way. Like Hindi cinema is very universal. It cannot have a cultural reference context. So when you're doing you've done a lot of South films, successful films, and of course one Bangla film and international films. International people, Hollywood works completely differently. So when you learn, like हम जैसे कहीं सीख के as a director, I would say I have learned a lot of things which I put in a project to make it look wholesome. So my question is, do you do that as an actor to make it look wholesome, or how does it function as a craft?
So I think we are learning from every project, every day, and barring the language. Of course, every place and every language has its own strong cultural reference, like you say, but which is characteristic to that. And I don't know about that, but definitely as a craft, because cinema is universal in every language, the requirement from an actor is going to be the same. As an actor, I will be required to play the character properly and sincerely and whatever. So, and every director is different in the way they work with actors, in the way they extract a performance, in the way they brief you, in the way they push you or inspire you, and what your relationship is with that and how they see cinema. So every director that you work with and every co-actor that you work with is definitely adding experientially to you, to your craft, and to you as a person, which will be felt, experienced in ways that we might not be able to put a finger on. But it's very organic. Influence is really very organic, how they are processing inside you. And there is no way that you will not carry one experience to the other.
Like it will not
You're making
overflow
a journey.
to...
Yeah.
So for example, if I ask you that you did Abar Aronne and then you did Namesake, where you played a Bengali character. So did Abar Aronne help you in understanding names? So that's what is an easier question to ask.
Absolutely.
Probably.
I'm glad I got to do Abar Aronne because before the namesake, because I knew the language by then. I had made fantastic friends in Calcutta who helped me with the language and who helped me with so many things that are specific to the Bangla culture. So yeah, nothing is ever just restricted to that. Every experience will transmute and become something else, and that's how human beings grow, and that's how human
Correct.
beings are. Every day we are carrying something of yesterday and becoming what we are today. So yeah.
True. I guess you are one of the luckiest actors. I mean, just before the session, we were talking to a few journalists, and it was so rightly mentioned that you've worked with Gulzar Sahab, you've worked with Vishal Bharadwaj, you've worked with Gautam Ghosh, you've worked with Meera Nair. I mean, you consider yourself fortunate, lucky, or quite an envious filmography you have. I mean, a lot of heroines must be really kind of heaving a deep sigh on the kind of filmography that you have, because it is unbelievable to have these directors in your repertoire.
Yes, it's great fortune. It's great timing that I was there at a time where they were casting, and many other factors which we can't understand. But yeah, I guess timing. I was there at the right time, at the right place, like they say, with a desire to work with great minds that could inspire, and always had a dream to work with Gulzar Saab. Worked with him. I had a dream to work with Ang Lee after
Yeah, of
watching
course,
Crouching Tiger, and within a year I get this email. I wanted to work with Mani sir, and I have so much respect for these filmmakers, and I just wanted to really experience
Priyadarshan, I mean, Kala Pani is one of my favorites.
Priyadarshan. So Vishal, especially Vishal, I
Yeah.
think the relationship that I share with Vishal, the creative relationship that I share with him is very, very unique and very special. I don't think that I've ever shared that with anybody, and it's a really special. I don't know if it's just a director-actor relationship. I think it's beyond that. And before we became director-actor, and before we did Maqbool, and yeah.
Coming on to the pretty last segment of our conversation. Apart from cinema, there's a lot to do with the word taboo. Tabassum. Like literature, like poetry, like reading, and I guess in one of your interviews also you said that actors or creative people are mostly very lonely. So going on to that part of the conversation, where you are not an actor, where you are not under the limelight or arc lights, you're just Tabu. Why you feel that even after success, even after recognition, even after what you want in professional life and you achieve, thank God for that, and even then you feel lonely, and we have witnessed this in Bollywood, loneliness and
No, sorry to interrupt. I was not talking about loneliness in the way that the world wants to see loneliness. Not at all.
you're being
or
poetic.
the way people want to imagine actors to be. Oh, itni lonely hai success ke wajah. I'm really far from that. What I meant was the journey that an actor makes on set in their work is they're really doing that on their own. You don't have an internal team to help you act. Okay. So, of course, externally people are there. A producer has their team, a director has their team, writer's team, this team, that team, and that's how their work comes out. But an actor is always only alone in front of the camera. Okay? Nobody comes and helps you. Nobody tells you how to do it. So, I meant that. Okay? Character में तो actor अकेला ही है. कोई उसका हाथ पकड़ने वाला नहीं है. So I didn't mean the personal journey of an actor. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Personal
So then you're a happy person.
person की अलग-अलग होती है, and we really don't know.
But do success make you lonely? I mean, did you feel that?
No. I think my work and the nature of this profession has in fact pushed me in the world. Whether or not I like it, I will have to, step out into the world every day. I'm working in a people's industry. And I mean, no, I don't feel it has made anybody lonely at all. And also, I feel feeling alone and feeling lonely is also your thing. It's how you see your journey. And everybody is walking alone finally.
That is true. But I guess you read a lot and you write a lot. So what is Tabu in real life? Don't say that this is how I am because you just said 5 minutes back.
This is real life. This is real life.
No, but of course, I mean, when you're not doing films and when you're not doing your dramatics on screen, what do you do?
I'm doing dramatics off screen. What am I doing? I'm not doing really exciting things at all.
What are you saying?
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint, but my life is really not exciting that way. I wish it was. But I really, I intend to find excitement. I don't know what I will have to do for that. I like to learn languages.
Okay, so what are you learning now?
So I want to go back to learning my French. I did 2 levels of French. I've done 2 levels of Spanish. Neither of them I can speak because I never practiced and I just completely forgot. But learning languages is my passion.
Okay.
And I read, but not extensively.
But I guess I have heard and I know for a fact that you write.
I just scribble and I'm really not ready to put out my writings anywhere in public.
Why?
No, unless Gulzar Saab sees it, okays it, proofreads it, corrects it and says, ठीक है, अब तुम ये सुनाना लोगों को, तब मैं जाके सुनाऊंगी.
And if now all actors have their own biographies and Tabu should also have her own, I guess. Why not? Why?
It'll be very boring.
Why?
Does any one of you want to know about my life? There is nothing. See, nobody wants to know. They already have seen the films. They already have seen whatever they had to see. And I think they know that what you see is what you get. इसका यही है, कोई life में कुछ हो नहीं रहा है ऐसे.
But अगर एक मान लो hypothetically एक book अगर होता तो उसका आप title क्या देते? आपकी जिंदगी के ऊपर एक book होता तो what would you have named it?
I think it would be called I Don't Know. Because I really don't know anything.
Yeah, now since we have spoken a lot about Bengali and Bangla, so what is it that you remember in Bangla? Can you say a line in Bengali or anything in Bengali right now? It's an impromptu test.
Full pressure. I just remember half a line from the namesake. যদি আমি হারিয়ে যাই,
যদি আমি হারিয়ে যাই,
if I get lost,
yeah,
will you come looking for me?
তুমি আমাকে খুঁজতে আসবে.
I think Irfan completes that
Yeah.
something like that. It's when he's explaining the fish market directions to me. And that was the only, actually I just look at him and say, আর যদি আমি হারিয়ে যাই, that's it. I remember that from the namesake. That's what I remember now.
I don't think so. The name Tabu can ever get lost, and we will not let you get lost or from our memory ever. And that's a beautiful line in Bangla that you have picked up. Jodi ami hariye jai, Tabu kokhono haraয় না, তাব্বুরা কোনোদিনও হারাতে পারে না. তারা স্মৃতির মধ্যে থাকে, তারা মানুষের মনের মধ্যে থাকে, আর তারা সারা জীবন মানুষের খুব কাছের হয়ে থাকে. This is for the audience who was there and for you, because you are very special to the city, you are very special to all cine connoisseurs, and the kind of cinema that you have done, doing and will be doing in the future, it's very inspiring for all of us, from me being a journalist to a filmmaker, and from all your fans. I mean, cinema is something that we actually live with. And that's why I guess your role as an actor when you take up these challenges, when you break the stereotype, and then when you cater audience, the kind of cinema that we see from your perspective or your performance, it really enriches us all. So that is something really, really I'm thankful to you personally as a friend, as a well-wisher, and
Thank you. It's an honor that you say that. Really.
and before we wrap up, would you like to say something to this lovely audience of Kolkata and your memories and your little the sweet
Thank
memories?
you for being so quiet and listening so attentively.
I hope they were.
I almost got pressure because nobody was even breathing, I think. But it's always lovely to be here in Kolkata. I mean, everybody knows the love and the special relationship that I have with this city. I always will. I have family here, friends that have become family. And it's my home. It's something that I keep coming back to. It was my dream and my friend's dream to come to Kolkata during Durga Puja, and it never happened for 20 years.
Yeah, this year.
And
you
luckily, in October,
This year,
I
no?
managed that. Yeah, 2 months back, I saw the city in a completely different and new light than what I have seen it in, and it was beautiful. And yeah, Calcutta is part of me, and I am part
You
of
managed
Calcutta.
to see Durga Puja in the pandal. I mean, you could
No,
walk.
no, I could not go inside. But
Because
of course
that
we
is
were
the
at
trick.
home. Yeah, but the roads and it's so beautifully lit up that it's more than enough. But yeah, it's a special relationship that I have with the city that will always be, and I'm always ever so grateful for the love that my films have got in Kolkata. Not just my Bangla film, not just The Namesake or Abar Arune, but I know Meenakshi, Maqbool, Heather, Andhadhun, and I understand and I come to know exactly which of my films have got a special place in people's hearts here. And I'm always so, grateful for that. And I'm so grateful for the conversations that Kolkata gives me, the cultural richness that I take back from here, the beauty that I take back from here, the nostalgia that I take back from here, and the literature that I take back from here. And there's so much that the city has lent.
Something you missed
to me.
out.
The
Can I-
Mishti Doi and
no, I have to
Loden
share.
so
No,
it adds to my calories.
Whenever Tabu comes to Calcutta, she brings a big ice box. Now I went to her room and I said, "What is this?" She said, "This is an ice box." Now, why there's an ice box? Because she's called her friends, her close friends in Calcutta, who are going to kind of give her notun gure norom pakir shandesh, jhola gur, mishti doi, rasgulla, all stuffs which you're not supposed to take in flight. Tabu will take home because
In
she
the baggage.
is in the baggage, and she is very much a Bengali, and I was really surprised to see that you have actually taken that effort in having an ice box with you to carry all the sweets.
It's my Kolkata ice box. It comes only to Kolkata with me.
So here is it, and on a sweet note, we would like to kind of wrap up today's evening conversation with this lovely, talented, wonderful human being first, then a lovely actor.
Thank you. Thank
Tabu.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being such a lovely audience. And at this point of time, can I please request Mr. K.K. Mahapatra, Head of Infocom, to kindly present a memento to both our speakers, Tabu and Mr. Kamal Mukherjee, as a token of love and appreciation from us. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well, definitely making memories over here. Thank you so much, Mr. Mukherjee. Thank you, Tabu.